What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I am once again continuing my 2017 tournament. This is round 4. I don't know what I'm up against. Let me adjust my mic. I got a comment or a message saying my audio is a little bit low, so I do need to work on fixing that. I understand my appearance is very um, homeless. I think the word we're both looking for here is homeless. Um, But yeah, waiting for my opponent to send the friend request right now, so I can challenge him and get the show on the road. Um, right now, I don't know what most of my opponents are playing. Andrew Mahone is probably the most notable player right now in the tournament, remaining at 4-0, I believe. Didn't get a request. Let me ask him. Uh, didn't get one. What's yours? So now I'm just hoping. So one of the match Vespiquen in this metagame had a lot of 50-50s. What is this interesting name? Okay. Vespiquen had a lot of 50-50s in this metagame. Most notably, any of the Garb matchups were super 50-50. Uh, if they had a Rocorio, of course, it tips the tables in their favor. Zoroark Drampa was actually a matchup that I had gotten a lot of experience with over the course of 3 events: Madison, Mexico, and then NAIC. It was a deck that kind of came to the limelight through Danny Altavila's uh, run in Madison, where we butted heads for the first time, and the game ended up coming down to a pretty crazy. I think he had to go like Zoroark break into Kukui and some crazy-ish play that resulted in him taking the game. Um, and then we met again in Mexico, where I was able to actually 2-0 Danny. Um, I didn't think I'd be able to 2-0 him, but it felt like there was a couple things that went my way, and Danny made like a really big mistake in the first game. Um, that kind of just let me go teammates for game. He knew I had like the teammates. He had seen me grab it off the Lele or something like that, and Danny just didn't capitalize on it. Danny also was playing Oricorio in his list back then, so that did actually matter a lot. So important to note. Okay, so I am going second. Um, pass. We're gonna go pass. Eevee, I think it's probably an EspeonGarb deck here. EspeonGarb was probably one of the bigger decks of that national championships. Um, it didn't really do much until nationals. Okay, I don't want to say it didn't do much. Sorry, that's probably a incorrect statement to make. EspeonGarb had been around, but Garb had been the deck. EspeonGarb and Garb both did really well at Seattle Regionals that year. I think with a majority of the day 2 slots being taken up by the 2 decks collectively. When we moved into the next coming event, uh, Vespiquen took the limelight with myself, Michael Pramawat, Jimmy Pendarvis, and Igor Costa all playing it. And then Metagross was like a deck that came into the forefront as well at that tournament. Then we had Mexico, where we saw a bunch of repeat decks. Decidueye did really well. And then NAIC was like the first real time we saw a lot of the top players in the game show up bringing Espeon. Peter Kika, Xander Perot, Caleb Gedimer. All these guys showed up with EspeonGarb, and a lot of day 2 at NAIC was EspeonGarb that year. So it was like super important to note that like this deck was incredibly important, I think, to the metagame and how like we perceive the rest of the metagame. Now, my opponent probably had one of the more ideal starts for him. I have to assume I'm probably going to get Garbotoxin locked in the following turn, um, given the nature of how this matchup goes. So we're going to go ahead and Ultra Ball, um, grabbing myself a Lele. I do have the Mewtwo, so I can just grab the Mewtwo actually and pose the threat and just kind of say, hey, if you're going to knock out my active, I'm going to go ahead and hit you with the Mewtwo. I do have the Float Stone. I think this might be the best course of action given my hand. I'm just going to go ahead and Shaman and then Sycamore, probably. So another option is to grab the Lele. I don't know what supporter I would get. Probably a teammates to put the teammates into the discard. It's not in the deck, so the end would be what I put. So I think grabbing the end is the most optimal play here. Go ahead and doing this, and then Shamaning for 3. This way I am basically saying if you want to go ahead and cross divide, you can, but I'm forcing you into a situation where uh, I can kind of do what I want off this. So now I have played a thorough amount of items that I probably did not want to play this turn. Um, I think the next step would be to bait the cross divide and end my hand away. I think we're going to go ahead and bait the cross divide so we can do a 2-for-2 trade. I am going to Ultra Ball again because it's not great. My hand is not great. We're going to go ahead and get the Lele. I don't want to put these two VS Seekers into the discard. So we're going to go ahead and use the abilities while we can in this game, and we're going to go ahead and end. This means we do have 3 items in our discard. Not the most ideal of situations. Cross Divide does take out 2 Pokemon. This is super fine, however, because I can just bench. We're going to use the abilities while we can. Don't get me wrong. So let's use the unknown, get that out of the way. Let's not make that mistake. Even if we are playing online, I don't want that to be an excuse. Let's go ahead and bench this Combi as well. In the off chance that he does go ahead and knock it out, I can Revitalizer the 2 Combis back and then make a play off that. I only have 1 Zorua, so I'm going to force my opponent to make a decision. And you know I didn't evolve the Vespiquen because it is my technical first turn, so I can't evolve it. We did miss a force. Had we had a force, this hand would have been kind of nutty. I'm not going to lie to you. I would have been able to get a free 80 damage in. It looks like my opponent is not hesitating to cross divide here. On my end, a super nice thing to do here is if I can top deck the Choice Band or a Shaman or something, I can end him in tandem, making it so that he goes down to 4. But I don't think that's absolutely necessary, and maybe just a Sycamore is better. So I am giving him the tough decision of what to do here, but this is all contingent on the fact that he doesn't play Oricorio. If he does play Oricorio, I am probably in trouble. My opponent did seem to struggle there with that decision on what to... I mean, he actually just didn't play Supporter from his hand. He just went ahead and attached DCE and cross-divided. So I don't know entirely what the mindset here is. Putting 1 here, so I guess that he's just setting it up for a Psychic knockout. He knows it's going to come up. So I don't even need a Revitalizer, actually. I want to still end. So we're going to go ahead and end. I know he didn't play a Supporter, but I don't like my opponent having 8 cards. I'd rather him have 4. Okay, so we're going to probably start with the Ultra. Getting rid of these 2. I'm holding the Acro first because I do have another Shaman. So I want the Shaman first. Trying to hit a Choice Band. We are going a little bit ham. I do understand we're seeing a lot of cards in our deck, but if I don't hit the Choice Band this turn, I think the game is like actually just lost. So no Choice Band. And no Choice Band. That's not good, guys. So I think... So not having a Choice Band does actually pose us with a really tough situation. Garbodor's live now. My hand is not great. I can swing in. So I think we put the energy here. And we just swing, because I don't really have another option, sadly. That's pretty unfortunate, actually. I did have 23 more cards in deck, so it's not like I was guaranteed this card by any means. I did go ahead and dig, and I wanted to end my opponent as opposed to Sycamoring and putting those resources into the discard. I think holding onto the Revitalizer and the 2 Vespiquens is more correct, but not hitting the Choice Band does mean we probably lose this game. I haven't seen any indication of Oricorio. My opponent putting the teammates in the discard also helps him immensely. On the bright side, I can look towards um oh, okay, Ultra Volume ADC. I can look towards finding a later game N and just kind of sticking it. My opponent is also just not evolving into Toxin, which either indicates it's prized or he has an understanding of the matchup where evolving into the Toxin when you're ahead simply just puts yourself in an end spot. That's not great. Because like I'm still getting N to 6. So in his situation, he's not doing anything. So it looks like he's just giving me this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I only have 6 items in here. I'm going to go ahead and swing with Lele here. I don't want to give him another prize. I don't think it would be wise for me to give him another prize. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Because I think I have to. Uh, and I think I have to go ahead and stretch it for the other Lele. My board is looking disgusting. 6, 8 items would put him there over the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I actually cannot play any items here. So I play this stretcher, that means I'm Leleing for the Sycamore. If I'm Leleing for the Sycamore, that means that I am putting myself in a position that loses the game. So we're going to go ahead and just energy drive here. I have to kind of like clutch my teeth a little bit and hope for the best. Teammates is really good actually to set up a N over 2 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the Toxin comes down, and he ends himself to 3. He does not have a knockout here, which is something of reassurance. Sycamore is pretty good here, and he's just going to go in. He's just going to decide trash lands it's time, which I think is completely fine with me. Now that means I have to find my energies, and I am rolling. Let's go ahead and do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 9, 10, 11. So I can't afford to bench this. That's fine. Sycamore, looking for the last energy in my deck. I know it's a little bit much to ask for. Ha, there's a choice band. Very funny. We did miss the energy, so not good. But we don't want to give him the free 2. So Mind Jack. 3 energy down and no real answer in sight to finding them is not good. Did my opponent put himself into another supporter is the real question, because that would be kind of the nail in the coffin, I think. I think I have to last out these 2 Garbodors and hope he cannot establish another threat. Because if I can go kill, 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 I put myself in a position that I can still win, because he still has 2 prizes. He just dumped his old tools. So now I have to find the energy, right? I don't have the teammates. I don't have any of these pieces left available to me. So I think I just have to go this, and I just have to do this. I'm being a bad player right now, and I don't remember if the DC is in my deck or not. It is. Okay, cool. But I didn't hit the special charge. So that's really unfortunate. If he has Oricorio, he will win this game. There's nothing I can do about it, and there's no point in me worrying about it, because I can't do anything about it. So yeah, I just can't play around it this game. This game was just kind of a clown fiesta to begin with. Maybe I should have Sky Returned here to see the energy. That probably actually was more correct. That was actually a mistake on my part. I think Sky Returning to preserve the energy, because I didn't hit the special charge, is actually super important. But I did throw that a little bit. We're going to go ahead and just do this. Grab this. That's fine. Thin my deck. My deck almost is... Wait, I don't have special charge in my deck. Oh, no. Okay, so that means I have both special charge are prized, I believe. So, I have a 50-50 of hitting one? Okay, alright. That's not good. I should have noticed that way earlier, but yeah, I should have noticed that way earlier. I think a VS Secret N is probably going to happen here. Um, Teammates, okay. He has to grab himself a Oricorio probably, like Oricorio energy, right? Like if he has it, this is a place to show it. Um, if he doesn't have it, then yeah, so he doesn't play Oricorio or it's prized. He does not play Oricorio or it is prized. That is what we can establish from this game, which is actually very important to establish. Let's decide if choice band's important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Just hit the discard. So it is not important, but I would like to not throw. So special charge, 2 back end, teammates. Um, what do I have prized? So the Lysander actually was kind of important. I did get not having the Lysander does hurt now after making the plays we made. So I do have one Acrobike in my prizes, and I have a Forest and a special charge. So I think I'm just going to grab the VS and just kind of hope here. And we'll just thin down so I don't get end. And we'll go ahead and be revenge. And the last Garbodor or Stretcher is just kind of something we have to hope he doesn't get. He did teammates last turn, so I think it's really silly to think that he won't have it. Um, I think this game was lost a couple turns ago. Yeah, let's see if he can teammates for the right pieces. I think he just needs to grab a Garb, and I lose. I'll go first. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and go first. Um, that was super unfortunate of a game, I think. Um, nothing really went my way. Had I hit the choice band on that turn in the middle of the game, I think that turn is really what defined the entire game. Had I hit that, because if you like trace back the entire game, I lost the game by 2 prizes, and that turn we did miss 2 prizes. I got put behind on tempo, um, and all of a sudden I couldn't do anything about it. Right, like I got put back on the tempo. I couldn't uh, find the pieces I needed to find. I did find everything I needed later. I got to where I needed to be, but if I'd gotten those 2 prizes that turn, that means the following turn my Lele doesn't get put up and potentially knocked out. Um, and the so on the saga continues of a Pokemon player who will talk about how he should have won that game, but I don't think I should have won that game. I think it simply came down to that turn, and that is where I will put it. So I have to pass. I don't want to make the mistake. I don't want to get that game lost. The penalties are very harsh for this tournament. Maybe rightly so. Let's acro. Let's keep this. 1 down, 2 items. Not amazing. 3 items. So we're just gonna hold this entire hand. I don't really feel the need to pitch it 4 items because I don't want to play into the Garbodor immediately. Um, I'm gonna hold this just in case I top deck an Ultra Ball. If I top deck the Ultra Ball, this choice band gets a lot more value because I can stick it on Mewtwo. But if I don't, then I don't really care, I guess. But for the time being, I'd like to just do this. Because if I Sycamore and go nuts, that just means that my Zoroark no longer has value, and I think that's going to happen, unfortunately. Top decking an Ultra Ball also means I can Ultra Ball 2 pieces away, like a Sycamore and an EV, grab the Lele, and hopefully ends in the deck. Um, keyword hope. If it isn't, oh well. Like, it is what it is. So, and EV. Energy Evolution, again, super good for him here. Um, if he has the Float Stone, that is a free 30 damage. I would not come up with the Espeon this turn if I'm him, even if I have it. The only acceptable play here is attacking with a Lele this turn. Yeah. Okay, so Lele does hit my hand. Let's go ahead and look through my deck. Um, I have the other choice. I do not have Mewtwo, it looks like. So that's not good. Um, so I want to grab the N. But I also want to do something with my turn. So I think I'm going to put this down. And I'm going to go ahead and end. And the reason I'm going to go ahead and end is like, I have a lot of pieces in my deck that do draw me cards. This is a really unfortunate comeback into my hand. I don't need you. Please go away. Uh, Ultra Ball. So this means I have to make the decision, do I care about items anymore? And I think the answer becomes no. So now that I don't care about items, we're going to start drawing cards. Oh, wait. I don't want to end again. I could just take a knockout here. I have a free knockout on the board. I should not have Ultra Balled. Oh my god, I actually messed that up really badly. Um, that's a mistake, guys. That's a pretty big mistake that I made. But I did make it, so I'm going to go ahead and commit to the plan. I'm going to go ahead and put the DC here. I'm going to go ahead and draw cards. Had I just not done that, had I not Ultra Balled those items away, I was able to just simply, go ham and knock out the Trubbish with just a guy. Um, so we'll go ahead and Ultra Ball away. This sucks because he gets the Cross Divide off again. And I did pitch a Forest. And I don't have a Mewtwo response. That's the biggest thing that sucks right now about the situation. I do not have a Mewtwo response. We're going to get rid of another Combi. This kind of sucks. I do have one and a Stretcher left. So we're going to go ahead and grab Mind Jack. We're going to go ahead and stand in. I do get a prize here, but at what cost is the answer? And I think I definitely played this game completely incorrectly, and I really put myself in the hole. That's a rub the salt in the wound top deck. That's a rub the salt in the wound top deck, definitely. Um, that's an oof. That's like a huge oof. Um, so definitely a little bit uh, poor play. So Ultra Ball EV and an energy. I think my opponent's going to look to Toxin me here. Um, I don't think Toxin's correct. I think just getting a Garbodor trade, yeah, I think that's more correct. Just try to get damage onto me. Um, and he's just going to cross divide, take two prizes. I actually can't do anything about it. That sucks. That sucks. He did burn a Juniper and a VS. So if he doesn't play any cards from his hand, it could be construed as a mistake to do that. I don't know why it wouldn't Juniper if I'm him. Okay. So hitting that Trubbish is pretty good for him there, all things considered. In this situation, I'm probably just going to lose the combis. And he knows that I'm going to come up with this thing in a sec. So my DCE split's going to go now bench. Another Salt in the Wind top deck. Not great. We're going to go ahead and Via Seeker. We're going to go ahead and end. No reason to put the Choice Band down. It's still a live card for the Mewtwo if I potentially pull it out of the prizes. It's also a live card for Vespiquen if I can, hit a Revitalizer or something here. We're going to go ahead and just Ultra Ball for Combi. I think I do need a follow-up attacker, and not having anything is kind of sucky here. I do get I'm going to hit with Lele a turn down. I am in a really, really sticky spot. Like a really sticky spot. That being said, I think his best course of action is to retreat the Espeon and attack me with Garb and force me to use the Vespiquen, knowing that 3 combis are in the discard. And if he does that, I honestly don't know what I can do. It's definitely a tough situation for me to kind of give a good answer to. He's just putting energies in the discard. I think that energy just goes on the Garbodor. I don't know what the context of the rest of his hand are. Maybe he already has another energy, but he should just attach to the Garbodor this turn. Kind of make it so he's got a follow-up attacker into me. I don't know if that's the most necessarily correct card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's already hitting for 200. There's already 200 damage on the board. There's no reason to keep the choice band over the energy. That's actually a pretty big mistake. He doesn't get punished. It comes back to him. Um, he knows what I'm gonna do. So my entire next turn is going to come down to uh, I kind of hope he toxins himself. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. I'm gonna promote the Combi, um, because I believe that taking the knockout with the Vespiquen, if I can get it, is probably more correct. And I have 4 Vespiquen in the deck, and yeah, there we go. See Vespiquen. So I'm gonna go ahead and special charge. I think okay, I have one more VS, so I'm gonna go ahead and Sycamore with this one, because he's probably gonna Lysander or something. If he gets Lysander plus energy, I'm screwed anyway. Oh boy, guys. Oh boy. I think this is the silver, not the silver lining, but whatever the opposite of silver lining is. I think this is it. I think this is the final nail in the coffin type deal. I don't think there's much we can do. Um, I do think I just have to feed him the Lele. I don't have the N anymore. If he just attaches an energy, I think that's just checkmate, right? Like I actually can't win the game at that point. There's the Mewtwo. Hey, buddy. See, all he has to do is attach energy, and that's GG. That's a teammates. I just lost. Yeah, that's over. I guess I'll wait for him to grab the energy, and if he attaches it, that's GG. Um, yeah, GG. Well played. And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap that one up because I can't win it. Um, but thank you guys for watching. I know this one was a little bit shorter and a little bit more depressing. I guess I didn't play that super well. I could have played that way better. Um, but yeah, thank you for watching. I will stay in the tournament, I think, even at 2-2 because I am enjoying the format. So I will keep the videos going. That'll be 3 more, hopefully, coming up. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.